What time is it?
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.
Hey fam, how you doing? This is Zoe, and I am just elated to be hanging out with you on today for another episode of Moments of Inspiration. And I just consider it such a blessing to hang out with you, and I celebrated my birthday this past week as well, so it was an absolutely great time sharing it with family. And once again, I'm excited about spending this time with you on today. Well, today I want to talk with you briefly about this very, very important subject matter. This has been on my heart for the past actually couple of weeks, and I feel released to share it with you today. And it's simply this: your most valuable assets. That's right, I said your most valuable assets. What are they? Well, I'll be right back right after this.
Warren Buffett is one of the most influential investors ever, of course, and when he speaks, Wall Street listens. But in this case, Wall Street is inside San Quentin. In the final part of her series, Business Behind Bars, Jane Wells went inside to meet him.
I'm in prison for first-degree robbery, murder, and attempted murder, and I was sentenced to 54 years to life in prison.
What's your nickname?
My nickname is Wall Street.
38-year-old Curtis Carroll went to prison at age 17 and didn't know how to read. One day, he meant to pick up the sports section of the paper, but he picked up the business section instead.
And when I went to turn away to leave, an older prisoner saw me and asked me, he said, "Hey, youngster, you play stocks?" I asked him, I said, "What's the stock market?" And he said, "That's the place where white folks keep all their money."
That sparked Carroll's interest, and over the next 4 years, he learned to read by studying the business section.
I saw an article in the paper, no, it was a magazine, and it had Bill Gates and Warren Buffett's net worth next to countries. And it was showing how these guys, and I had never even knew that $1 billion existed, let alone see these guys that had 20 and 30 and 40 and 50, 60 billion.
He became a student of Warren Buffett's investing philosophy and asked friends on the outside to open an E-Trade account where he could invest his earnings from prison jobs.
My best investment was this company called Taser International. Dumbest move I've made, Valiant. We just got a little bit of Snapchat. I had Bank of America. I'm up. I mean, if you're talking about money that I've made myself and just money that I've made for people in general, just giving advice and things like that, 6 figures easily. So even though a dilution of those shares happened, those shares are still there.
Yep, Wall Street does give advice for free and has even started a financial literacy group inside San Quentin.
They now have 7 shares. You never lose your money.
Okay.
His hope is to someday leave prison. He could go before the parole board in 3 years, then start a hedge fund and teach inner city kids a better way.
So all criminals are entrepreneurs. You know, I was a great entrepreneur, just got caught doing it. If someone had said, this kid out here in Oakland, California, that's running around, burglarizing homes, has managed to customize a way where he can take a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a brake adjuster and break inside of an arcade game in 30 seconds and get $800 in quarters and turn that into a business. If we got this kid to MIT, what could he do?
But more than anything, Wall Street would love to meet his idol, Warren Buffett.
And you have inspired me to become something that my family, my friends, and my community can be proud of. And I just think stocks is the greatest platform that man has ever created, that the average citizen and average person can play in and own some of the greatest brands that society's ever seen.
An education which has perhaps allowed a convicted murderer to take stock. For Nightly Business Report, Jane Wells, San Quentin.
Man, that is an outstanding story, isn't it? And that just lines up with exactly what I want to talk with you today about. No matter where you find yourself, we must understand that we have some very valuable assets, and we need to make sure that we're understanding and gaining wisdom on what they are. And so I want to deal with you today about that. I'm always excited to hear that story. A really good friend of mine put me on to Wall Street, and man, that's just an awesome story. But you know what? It's not limited just to him that can break through barriers that may be quote unquote limiting other people, but it's up to you to just move forward and not be limited and use excuses as to why you can't do something. So once again, we're talking about your most valuable asset. Well, we talked about this before. Number one is time and what you do with your time. That's a very valuable asset. And number two, the second thing I want to talk to you today about as far as your time is concerned is trust. And so we're going to deal with both of those right now. Now, many times in life, the most valuable assets are really the things that are free. It doesn't cost us any money. It's free to us, such as your mind, your spirit, man. I have some other things written down here. Your attitude, your character, consistency. Those things are free. They don't cost you money. And a lot of times in life, those things that are most valuable don't cost money at all. They're actually free to us. And the late Earl Nightingale said it so eloquently, and I second that emotion. You know, those are very valuable assets that we have, and you can't pay money for it. It can't be replaced. Your spirit man can't be replaced. Your family can't be replaced. All of these things is very important and it's monumental for our lives. And so I want you to know that. And these intangibles actually build trust. And you know, it takes a long time, and for some people it takes a lifetime to build trust, but it only takes a moment of time to destroy it. And that's very critical, and that's why character and integrity is so important, because trust is a very valuable asset, and it takes a long time to build it up, but a short period of time to tear it down. So let's realize that on today. And also let's realize that the things in life that we pay money for, they're really, in essence, and looking at the big picture, they're really cheap. You know, houses, cars, jobs, businesses, money, all of that can be replaced. It can be taken, snatched from under you. You feel like the carpet's been snatched from under you. But you know what? There are stories time and time again of people who have been bankrupt multiple times and they were able to dig out of it. And so those things are really cheap in comparison of the first category of things that we talked about. So I want you to make sure we have our mindset there, that we're not chasing after things. And that reminds me of in the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 3, Solomon. You know, God told him, hey, what do you want? I'll give it to you. And Solomon understood this. He didn't ask God for material things. He didn't ask God for revenge on his enemies. He asked God for wisdom. Wisdom is a very, very valuable asset. And when we understand that, just like Solomon did, when you have wisdom and you walk in that wisdom, what you will begin to find is that things will begin to fall in line, and it follows after wisdom. So let's make sure that we understand that on today. And so I want to leave you with this. Once we grasp this truth, the trajectory of our lives will change, and not just of our lives, but other people's lives as well. We have to get this revelation as individuals first, and then it will carry over into our relationship with other people. And that way you won't be so quick to give up on yourself. You won't be so quick to give up on others, because I'm getting excited right now. When you try to give up on yourself, you're giving up on your future. You could be the next president of the United States. You could be the next CEO. You could be the next teacher. You could be the next great parent that molds and shapes your child and have them to have a successful life. I'm talking about you. And also, it will allow you not to quit on others. My goodness. How many people have we thrown away and just written them off of our list because we gave up on them? But I'm here to tell you, when you have those intangibles, the trajectory of your life can change for the better, and you'll be able to take other people and bless other people along with you as well. So I want you to remember that you're special. And as I always say, something good is going to happen to you. So have a blessed week this week. And remember, let's not chase after material things. Let's chase after what really matters. Let's build up our spirit, man. Let's build up our character. Let's get our integrity in check. And in turn, as we are consistent in those things, trust will come. And when you have trust, oh, that's the currency for life right there. I love you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.